Greetings YouTube, Lester Crow and his strolling bones coming at you. I'm injured currently, I don't know if you can see that. This webcam is starting to wear thin on me. I want to start making more videos, but I think I'm pretty much convinced that I need a new camera in order to get out of the office and actually make some videos. But yeah, anyway, I got a flesh wound at work. There you go. The other day, it's all bandaged up in gauze. Got 5 sutures. I nearly cut the tip of my index finger, my right index finger, off. It was bleeding quite profusely, and I finished my job, and it took about 5 hours before I managed to actually get into a clinic and get it looked at and sutured. So hopefully it heals all right, but that just goes to show that the healthcare system here is terrible. There wasn't an emergency facility within a 30-mile radius that I could go to before 8 o'clock in the morning, and as a night crew worker I injured myself at 5 in the morning, and it kind of sucks. It's a little sore, but hopefully it'll heal fine. It's preventing me from doing lots of typing, and it's making playing guitar difficult, so hopefully I'll manage to be healed up here before too long. But I think this is a perfect segue, me being a game master and cutting your finger being a mistake. I think this is a perfect segue into what the content of this video is intended to address, and that is it is intended as a response to Robert J. Fremantle's Gaming Talk video, Game Master Mistakes. And here we go. Personally, I've read the comments and watched some of the response videos. Actually, I've watched all of the response videos. And there's some really good points brought up there, but I'm going to go in a little more obvious of a direction and talk about Game Master's railroading games. Now, I think that this is a mistake. Although some play groups do like this, do like having extremely structured games, I personally think that it's a mistake for the Game Master to create very point A, point B, point C, point D type storylines, because it prevents the players from really creatively being able to affect change in the world. Now, that is the whole point of role-playing, in my opinion, and both Brady and Blind Humanoid, so both 23 Penguins 32 and Blind Humanoid, touched on this and talked about how role-playing is an experience where a group of like-minded individuals, a game master and several players, get together to tell a story together. So when a game master makes the mistake of actually creating stories that are very linear in fashion, it inhibits the ability for the player characters to A, immerse themselves in the world, because it doesn't feel like they can affect change in a realistic way, and B, another thing that it does is it actually it leaves everything outside blurry. So like when I play role-playing games, I like it to feel like every choice you make affects the entirety of the world. So from the smallest choice of should we put the fire in the tavern out to should we not put the fire in the tavern out, you know, I like that simple little thing. It may seem to be not that important, but I like that to create an instance where I can bring that back on the players, their decision, and show them how they effectively changed the outcome of the campaign because of one decision that they made. Now, that's just a basic example, but I have been guilty of doing this before. In a game of Dungeons & Dragons, the 3rd edition, I had a great group of players who were very clever, and I had written a story that I was quite confident in, and they enjoyed the story, but at the same time, what happened is I created such a structured story that once the players used their clever play styles to thwart some of my challenges sooner than I had anticipated them to thwart them, it created a situation where I needed to be better at improvising than at story writing, and I had invested a lot of time and energy in writing the story, and not very much time and energy in practicing doing my improvisational skills. So the game kind of got mired down and bogged down, and basically turned into a bunch of random encounters. I was using a lot of tables, you know, rolling a few dice and picking some villains out of the book, out of the monster manual, and and trying to create story from there, because my actual story that I had written was pretty much thwarted by the players much sooner than I had anticipated. So I think that's a big mistake for the game master, to create a very structured campaign. I think that structure is important in a campaign, but I think that too much structure takes away from the experience. So one of the ways I would suggest that game masters overcome this is to create a bunch of small miniature happenings around the world. So it could be that fire in the tavern. It could be the death of a landed noble. It could be an invasion of orcs and goblins. I mean, we could go on forever and ever and ever, but they're just very simple plot hooks and seeds that they can then put into the world to make it more flexible, make it more believable, and then also give the players more access to choice. Because I think that that's the whole point of role-playing, is to create a story together, and in order to create a story, you need to make choices. I've played in some role-playing games where people were not making choices, and it was very bland and annoying. We were just sitting there around a table with some dice, and we didn't get that sense of adventure, which is kind of the point of role-playing. So I'd suggest that you stay away from railroading your players, and yeah, I hope you guys manage to find some tiny morsel of help out of this, and I hope we can gather a bunch of information together into one linked video, basically, so that we have something that we can go to, and we have something that we can present to newcomers to the hobby, and especially to new game masters. So I commend you, Robert, on another great video, and keep them coming. Thanks a lot, guys, and I'll talk to you guys on the flip side. Injured Lester Crow, out.